Okay, let's go to California this morning. Andy Lee is standing by. Andy, how are things?
All good, Owen. How are you?
Very well. Your boy Jason Quigley.
How's the weather in Dublin?
It's amazing. We're not jealous whatsoever of your situation over there. We're right
There's actually
out.
a bit of rain here. A bit of rain here we've had the last couple of days.
Whereabouts are you in California? You're just outside Los Angeles, is it?
Yeah, Newport Beach.
Okay.
Orange County. So staying in a nice enough little hotel, about 10-minute drive from the venue. So yeah, Jason's ready now. We just finished our last session. It's like 10:30 a.m. p.m. here. So we finished our last session earlier on, and he's in great form, underweight, and just ready to fight now.
What does the last session involve?
It's low intensity, more of a sweat out. Rehearsing the things, technique, keep the technique right. Mentally, just finally drill the last few things, but at a low intensity, just so where he's sweating and just that's all. Like the day before yesterday, we had our last really hard, intense session. But yeah, he's sharp. He should put in a good performance.
Would this be the stage of the week? Would there be a point in the week when you would realise if there wasn't sharpness there? I think this kind of feeds into the conversation we're going to have later on with Anthony Joshua. If there is something wrong that the audience can sometimes be shocked with, I presume the coach can spot it during the week before he actually gets into the ring.
Well, I was like, Jason came over here on Thursday of last week. I didn't get over here until Sunday night because I had commitments with commentary for Frampton's fight. And he trained every day when he was here, but even in those spaces, a few days when I wasn't here, I could see he picked up a couple of little things that kind of bad habits that he'd had before.
Right.
Started to creep in, so just had to iron those out and get him back on form. And towards the end of the first session we did, he was back sharp. And then the day before yesterday, he was flying, absolutely smashing the pads, and everything was perfect, fully focused. And then today was just a complete sweat out and a mental rehearsal more than a physical exertion, you know. So yeah, like easy take your eye off the ball and let the old bad habits creep back in.
I presume those bad habits are something that, as a fighter, you don't necessarily spot yourself. You just kind of need your coach or somebody on the outside to actually spot them.
I think so, yeah. I think when you're in there, you feel comfortable, you feel good, but it takes someone. It's even like a small thing, like keeping his shoulders loose. And with Jason, with his front foot, he'll step with his heel instead of his toe. And that's something, when you're in there and everything else, the punches you're throwing and the punches that come back at you and where you're moving. And small little things like that, they're easy to go under the radar and you let slip, you know. So all those small details you have to keep reminding him, and he'll Jason recognises it as soon as I say it. I don't even have to finish the sentence, and he knows he's already doing it.
Right. Abraham Cordero is the opponent. It's live in the zone tomorrow night. Is there kind of an expectancy that from Jason himself to put in a big performance? Is this an opponent that strikes any fear in him, or what's the picture going into tomorrow night's fight?
It's a tough one for Jason, I think. Because he's coming back off a loss, and so your confidence is always low. But with that, there's pressure on him too to look good and to remind people how good he is. I've certainly said that to him. Like, it's important that you look good in this fight and that you put on a performance, a dominating performance. Corrado is tough. He's experienced. I don't think he'd pose much of a threat to Jason technically. But the question is how Jason can win the fight easy, but it's how he goes about doing it and how he looks while he's doing it is the question. And I think once he gets the first couple of rounds out of the way, he gets back in there, starts feeling better or good. I think he'd just go for the gears then. So yeah, I expect if he can reproduce what he does in the gym, he doesn't have any performance anxiety, then he should stop Corrado, or at least dominate him every round.
Yeah, it helps hugely that he's been fighting over there for such a long time. He knows that the aim of the game is not just to win these bouts, it is to win it in style, it is to get knockouts for the United States crowd.
Yeah, and look, for Jason now, he's 27, 28, and he's 17 fights into his career, and he's not a prospect anymore. kind of in this, he's in this nowhere, where he's not a prospect. He's got a one defeat, and he has to not take chances, but he has to start making some noise about it for himself, and get people excited about him, and put his name up there with the contenders of the division, because he hasn't got too much longer left. Where this window, the next year is very important for Jason, that he keeps performing well, and push on for a title, because if not, he'll just drift off and become just, not even a contender, but somebody who had potential but didn't make it, so it's a crucial time for his career. But saying that, if he does have a good performance tomorrow and then another one after that, he will be excited about him, because he has a lot of lot to offer. He's an exciting fighter at his best, and it won't be long before he will be knocking on the door again at a world title.
That's the thing, the 160-pound division, huge challenges across the board, but also huge opportunities that it comes with. So, from just speaking to Jason a couple of times on the show, I know you guys have had him on off the brawl a bit more than I would have spoken to him. It just seems that he is the type of person who would thrive under that sort of pressure, who the bigger picture actually really means a lot to him, and would drive him forward to a better performance tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's so close, at this point, when he lost to Torino Johnson, you'd think that, he's a million miles away, but he's not. He's only 2-3 fights away from being back where he was, and if not even better position than he was before the Johnson fight. And look at the champions of the division. Obviously, Canelo's the big one, Golovkin, Andrade. There's also a Golden Boy promoted fighter called Ryu Murata, who's an Olympian Japanese fighter who holds a title in his division. So that's a very easy fight to make for Jason, because it's the same promotion. So Jason's only 2-3 fights away, and he'll be challenging those guys. If Jason was fighting Murata tomorrow, I'd give Jason a good chance of beating him.
Well, that's what we like to hear.